So we're going to build on our music alphabet today by looking at where our notes live on the staff. We've already done a little bit of this, so our goal right now is to make that knowledge stronger. So let's jump right in. If you have your binder, go ahead and get out your amazing note reader workbook. If you don't have your binder, don't worry about it. Just follow along in the video, and as we do these notes, say them out loud and see if you can get them right before I give them to you. So let's take a look at our alto clef on the staff. First thing you notice is that we have these curves, and we always have this little point that points to the third line. That third line is always going to be a C. So your clef tells you where your notes start. So if that is C, and we know our pattern goes line, space, line, space, line, space, along with the music alphabet, what note, and we're going up, what note comes after C? Well, our next note should be a D. Now what comes after D? We should have an E. What comes after E? F. And for our fifth line, or line 5, what comes after F? G. Now, when we go above the staff, of course, you have A, and then you get your ledger line, you have B, then you have C, and then you have D. So we can continue up and down, and viola friends will see a lot of notes up there. But for now, let's just worry about what goes on the staff today. So now from C, now we're taking the notes down. So what comes before C? B. What comes before B? A. Okay, now at A, the music alphabet restarts. So what comes before A? A G. And then what comes before G? Look, you can see the pattern. Same thing. Okay, so let's take a look at it from a different perspective. Let's look at lines and spaces. So again, if you can figure these out, go ahead and fill them out ahead of me, or say the note names out loud. So we know line 3 starts with our clef. That is a C. So we're going to start all the way down here with an F. We're going to skip. So F, G would be this space, but we're skipping the space and doing only the line. So F, G, A, because we do not have an H. Then A, skip B, gives us C. C, skip D, gives us E. E, skip F, gives us a G. So the lines in the alto clef give us face G, but there's a better way, or another way, to remember this if you want. So we use mnemonic devices. So a really popular mnemonic device for the spaces here in alto clef would be fat animals can eat gladly. It's a little silly, but maybe you can come up with your own words and make up your own mnemonic device if you want. So now let's look at our spaces. So our spaces were G, skip A, B, skip C, to a D, and I know that's a C because it's the third line, and once again, that third line in the middle of the alto clef is always C. So D, skip E, and we have an F. So our spaces are G, B, D, F. So I learned that as good boys do fine. But you could also say good burgers deserve fries, or any of a number of things that you might make up. Just make sure if you make one up, it is school appropriate, guys. Okay, so now let's do our bottom exercise. And this time I'm going to fill them in slowly. I'd like for you to fill it in ahead of me and see if you got it right. If you don't get it right, just erase it and put the correct answer in. And if you don't have your worksheet, just call the note out before I write it down. So we're going to start with this one right here. Okay, so how did you do? We have A, D, B, C, skip D to E, then all the way down to G for good boys do fine for our spaces, then all the way up here for F for fine for our spaces. Then we come down here to this low F on the bottom line, and then we go all the way back up to a G. But notice right here we have two notes that are both called F. So we know that this is going to be a higher note and that's going to be a lower note, even though they're both Fs. Well, this is why we have to learn to read our notes. We have to train our brain and our eyes and our fingers to be able to look at a note on the page and know how to play that note. So that if all you do is write down the letter F, you don't know which F to play, the high one or the low. So this is why it's super important for us to read our notes. I hope this has been helpful. In the next activity in Canvas, there will be some practice exercises. They're kind of fun to do. So good luck, and I'll see you later.